President Trump said in a new interview that he is not joking about seeking a third term and added, quote, there are methods. In response, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced that Democrats will have a plan in place to stop him by 2032.
Not the brightest bunch, it would be generous to say. Wah, wah, wah. I am telling you. Oh, what's the matter, you? These people. Can I call them these people? Is it okay if I call them these people? Wah, wah. Well, well, well. A very good Tuesday to all of you, and welcome back once again. We continue to be at 888-630-9625. And once again, the Democrats, there's a news story today. Oh, no, the Trump administration sent an MS-13 gang member who was illegally in the United States to this jail in El Salvador. And the Democrats, they might mount up and go running down there. They might form a caravan, the Democrats, and cross the U.S.-Mexico border from north to south. And they might march down to El Salvador and arrange for a big prison break with all the shaved head gang members that the Democrats so adore and they want their daughters to marry. In fact, this gang member allegedly did marry an American woman and has a child. That'd be an anchor baby. And the Democrats, if it's illegal, they're in favor of it. And the news media, they're all over. They found one guy that they're telling us he's innocent. He's not a gang member. Well, the other gang members said that he's a gang member. I believe, do they have his tattoos? I think his tattoos. I got to double check the tattoos, but we know that they got a confidential informant. Oh yeah, he's one of our gang members. He's definitely a gang member. And then the dude in where were they? The Home Depot parking lot. Where else would you find illegal alien MS-13 gang members? They can come over to your house and help clean the gutters and then come back later and rob the place, because that's part of the Democrat Party's plan. The Democrat Party, what is the matter with these people? They have a lot of mental issues, and it's not just gender anymore. No, sir. That is wackadoodle. I'm telling you, this morning I was going through emails because my email thing is overloaded, the bin, and it's yelling at me, hey, you got too much stuff in here. You got to start deleting stuff. Went through, started deleting. Actually, my best girl helping this morning, sitting on the couch, eating my porridge, and started going through and carving through this stuff. And I found these photos of me back in my Pentagon days when I was with CNN, up in the air, in the sky, aboard an airplane, which is the best way, and down in the belly of an in-flight U.S. Air Force airplane, in-flight refueling tanker, while refueling a B-2 stealth bomber, B-2, great stuff. And I found these fun pictures this morning. Myself crouching, looking all newsy, down in the belly of an in-flight refueling tanker while refueling a B-2 stealth bomber. Kind of fun. That was just a fun little moment this morning I had. I wanted to share it with you. I'm always in the way of sharing. You know me. I share a lot. It's just the kind of person I am. I'm a sharer. I share. But that's just me. Enough about me. There's a lot going on in the news. Today. In Wisconsin, the dairy state, the cheese state. Elon Musk was there the other day. Oh, he was there over the weekend, and he had one of those cheese wedge hats on. The triangular big Swiss cheese. I think it's Swiss because it has the holes in it, right? And it looks like a Swiss cheese wedge on his head. And he's out there talking about stuff because he wants to save America from the crazy people, from the left. Let's face it, it's the Democrat Party. They're not liberals. They're the left. They're coming for everything you have. The left is coming for your rights. Boy, I'm telling you, they're coming for your daughters, too. And, everybody else. These people are mental. But in any case, there is a big election it's a kind of a special election, a little bit special. Like so many things are special, aren't they? And the Democrats, they're kind of like the special party, the special political party. We have the Special Olympics. What else do we have that's special? We have a lot of special things. Special needs, and they're kind of a special needs party, the Democrat Party. They're very special. But there is a big election, a special election in Wisconsin today to fill a vacancy on the state Supreme Court. And the Democrats, you'd think it was their only source of oxygen for their babies or something. They think this is the most important race in the world because they need to. And I think we played yesterday, Hakeem Jeffries, who's a jihadi who was raised by a virulent and famous anti-Semite. His uncle, a professor, naturally, Professor Leonard Jeffries, who really hates the Jews. He hates the Jews. You know, the Protestants hate the Catholics and the Muslims hate the Hindus, and everybody hates the Jews. It's the National Brotherhood Week kind of thing. But Hakeem Jeffries, he was going up, we need to redistrict the congressional seats in Wisconsin. And in order to do that, they already have control of the state Supreme Court there. It's a 7-person state Supreme Court. 4 of them are left-wing radical extremist baby killers, organ harvesters, open borders, pro-gang, pro-Hamas. You know, they're Democrats. And they're pro-looting. They might burn Teslas and firebomb dealerships on weekends and things like that. Show that they really care. That's how they prove they really care. They make Molotov cocktails in their basements and come out with hoodies on and they firebomb stuff. They're the Democrat Party. They love crime. The more violent, the more they like it. You know, violent crime. What's the point of a crime if it's not a violent crime, as the Democrats always say? But there's a state Supreme Court election there today, and it's today only. Have the Democrats extended the voting for a month? Or because you know how they love to have like a 3-month period where all the idiots vote, and it's easier to cheat that way. It's a lot harder to cheat when you just have election day. But we got that, and you got Brad Schimmel. He's on the side of America and sanity and breathing normally and eating healthy. He is the conservative choice for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And then they got this Crawford woman who's what she made. She came out and made an unintentional joke. She's railing yesterday on camera, on video, saying Elon Musk is trying to buy a Supreme Court seat in Wisconsin. Like all of us are supposed to care about one Supreme Court seat in the state of Wisconsin. Will you people take your meds? You're mental. You're mental, special. They gotta have short limos for these people. Short yellow limos for these people. But this Crawford woman, she came out and she said, Elon Musk is trying to buy a Supreme Court seat in Wisconsin. And never mind that George Soros, the communist anti-American robber of billions, where did he get all those billions anyway? Did he make cars? Does he have a space program? Or does he just trade in political power and tearing down the United States, American, Western civilization like the commie pig dog that he is? Pig dog, I say. Schweinhund. And it's a little Deutsche. And she's yelling, Elon Musk is trying to buy. George Soros put $2 billion into Wisconsin for this ridiculous race. And the idiot media, because everything they say is corrupt, they say, no, George Soros only put $2 billion into the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, not specifically the race between Crawford and Schimmel for the open Supreme Court seat. No. And yeah, it's the only race they have this year. So the media, there are 10,000 ways to lie in the naked city, and the news media finds pretty much every one of them every day of the week. Aren't they amazing? $90 million have been put into this race. 90 million American dollars have been put into a Supreme Court race in Wisconsin. And honestly, the Democrats, and here comes George Soros galloping in as usual, like the angel of death that he is, on a white horse with a hood and a sickle. Here comes George, and the Democrats applaud. Oh, Soros rides a pale horse. I love Soros. He rides a pale horse. I think I'll give money to a billionaire, George Soros, since I know he'll give it back to the Communist Party's efforts to destroy the world and the United States. So that's going on. Also in the polls, there are polls apparently. They take polls because they got to spend more money on polls and things like that. And in one of the major polls in Wisconsin, they show the communist Crawford. Is she transgender? Is she really a man? It's hard to say. I haven't seen her stand up. But here's Crawford is up 7 points in one of the polls in Wisconsin. And in the other major poll in Wisconsin, Crawford is up 2 points. So if you're, pro-oxygen and sanity it'd be a good day in Wisconsin. You live in Wisconsin. You can vote legally. Illegal aliens are voting, no doubt, in Wisconsin. But it'd be a good day to get out and vote in Wisconsin for Brad Schimmel to save America, save the world. Don't vote for George Soros and for Tren de Aragua and MS-13, which is what a vote for the Democrat Party is, and for Hamas and for the genocide of the Jewish people. I saw them yesterday. They were out with signs saying "From the river to the sea." I'm like, I thought you were supposed to be hating Elon Musk. You just hate the Jews too. I hate him so much, I just had to bring my "Hate the Jews" sign to the Hate Elon Musk rally. You people, you're mental. You know that, right? Amazing stuff. Also in Florida, the great state of Florida, America's appendage. There are 2 House races. They're also very special House races in Florida. And the Democrats are trying to, they've got death on a pale horse in Florida, too, and millions of dollars, because Matt Gaetz, who I know a little bit, had him on my TV show at Newsmax and so on. And I really like Matt Gaetz. He was a casual, fun guy. They tried to set him up. They did the old woman thing. They set him up. They love to do that. And then you find out they're the party of Epstein Island and Epstein's airplane. And then he accidentally hanged himself when he was on suicide watch and in jail. And Epstein didn't hang himself. I've got a Christmas ornament at home. It's got a picture of Jeffrey Epstein's face on it. And it says, "This ornament didn't hang itself." It says this ornament did. It's a little Christmas fun, Christmas mirth. We have mirth and so. But in any case, in Florida, the 1st Congressional District, which Matt Gaetz vacated, there is a Republican who's on the side of America, Patronus. Nice Greek. That's a Greek name, right? Nice Greek name. Patronus is like the father, like the patriarchy. Thank God for the patriarchy. Where would we be without the patriarchy? If the Democrats could find something called the patriarchy, I think they'd firebomb it with Molotov cocktails, because they think the Bolshevik Revolution is still on. Scratch that. Because the Bolshevik Revolution is still on. As long as they, by the millions, think that the Bolshevik Revolution is still on, then the Bolshevik Revolution is still on. But there is what's her name? Valamont is running against Patronus. And she's communist. She wants to destroy America because she's a Democrat. Patronus, 1st Congressional District, Florida. Patronus is the pro-American guy. And if I were there, I'd vote for Patronus. Also, the 6th Congressional District in Florida, special election today because Mike Waltz, who is, Army Special Forces, Colonel, combat vet, National Security Advisor. He vacated the seat to become National Security Advisor. And the House member after being a Special Operations Colonel, Special Forces at least. And in that 6th congressional race in Florida, Randy Fine is the pro-American person. And Josh Weil is a Democrat. He's no better than a communist. So if I were there, I wouldn't vote for him. But that's because I don't like communism, what with all the killing the 100 million people and rolling over countries and enslaving 1 billion and more. They're still enslaving more than 1 billion people just in China alone. Amazing stuff. Now, the Democrats are very angry also that the Trump administration deported 17 illegal alien gang members to El Salvador. And the Democrats are furious about that because they would sleep with illegal alien gang members this afternoon, give them a quarter. All they need is a quarter. Great stuff. Now, and I was talking about today to my best girl again on the couch this morning eating my porridge. And if Kamala Harris had won the presidential race, there would have been more murders, more rapes, more gang crime by illegal alien gangs from El Salvador and Venezuela and beyond, because the Democrat Party wants more illegal aliens in the country. There would be more dead. Amazing stuff. And do you know that we're lined up to give Harvard University more than $9 billion of our tax dollars? Why would we do that? Oh, it's because I looked into it. I scratched the surface on this, unlike 60 Minutes and the New York Times and CNN. Turns out that a bunch of Harvard grads in Washington that give money, and around the country, that give money to Democrats, They're like, hey, let's give $9 billion to my alma mater, and then I'll take credit for it. So, what do they have, like $53 billion in endowments? They're very well endowed, at least when it comes to cash money. And Harvard and Princeton, too, we give them all. And Columbia University, we're given $400 million. You guys charge a lot of money to go to those hellholes where people come out dumber than they went in. But $9 billion, very, very upsetting. Hey, is Cory Booker still on the Senate floor? He was there all night last night trying to do a Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or a Strom Thurmond or something like that, babbling incoherently. Did he push any guys against the wall and goose them? Because we know he's got a history of doing that. So Cory Booker, floor stunt, ridiculous. He's protesting against Trump and Musk because they're normal. And the Democrat Party, really the Democrat Party is the anti-normal party. They are here to destroy normal. We are at 888-630-9625. Chris here with a list of things that none of us should trust. The Washington Post, the New York Times, anything on CNN. Here's a list of things that I do trust. The Washington Times. Support real journalism for just $1 a week at WashingtonTimes.com/Chris. My friend Jeff says that I may have misspoken talking about Wisconsin and the Supreme Court race. Jorge Soros, George Soros, the destroyer of worlds, he put $2 million into the Democrat Party coffers in Wisconsin with only one election that they care about. And the media says, oh, no, he didn't give it to the Democrat, to Crawford. He just gave it to the Democrat Party when they have only one race that they're paying attention to. The media, they have many ways to deli slice the falsehoods. They make sandwiches. They make sandwiches out of the falsehoods. Yeah, but Jeff said I might have said $2 billion. They put $2 million. And now at Harvard, we're talking about $9 billion to Harvard because that's what a powerful lobby can do for you at Harvard University. Just horrible. Horrible, I tell you. All right, so we got that. There is a great story that I want to, it's kind of a great story that I want to share with you. The radical left-wing extremist, pro-terrorist, pro-firebombing, typical Democrats at The Atlantic. They named their magazine after an ocean. But it's kind of fun because Sahil Desai wrote an article, My Day Inside America's Most Hated Car. Why does America have a most hated car? Oh, because the insane, murderous, blood-drenched, firebombing Democrat Party has told all of their, I've been talking about this for years, the point and hate. They can point at anyone or anything and say, hate it, and millions of Democrats do. Wait till you hear this. The Atlantic Magazine, they came to D.C. I don't think they live here, but it's impossible to say. Sahil Desai. See, these people, these liberals are racists on top of everything else. Sahil Desai got a 7,000-pound Tesla Cybertruck, the kind of boxy, square-looking one. A Democrat in Las Vegas rented one of these and then killed himself in it. Went to the entrance of the Trump Hotel, filled it with nail bombs and gas cans, and he went to the entrance of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas, and he blew himself up. He had hoped to kill a lot of other people, but he only killed himself because very low IQ, I think probably a very low IQ. But that's not important now. Here's the headline at The Atlantic, and they've got a photograph of him inside the Cybertruck with the big screen on the dash and a bunch of liberals crossing the street in the crosswalk in front of him. You can tell by the smell, but it's the aroma. But the headline is, My Day Inside America's Most Hated Car. It's a Cybertruck, but okay, you can't call it a truck because that would confuse all the liberals reading The Atlantic. The Cybertruck is a 7,000-pound Rorschach test. Yeah, to find out whether you're a criminally insane mental case. That is to say, a Democrat. So Sahil Desai, with his photographer Kent Nishimura, They don't have any like Joe Smiths over there. They don't do that. But the piece is about him getting, I don't know if he stole it or rented it or what, but he got a Tesla Cybertruck and he drove around D.C. And this reminds me of our friend Corey with his boat, actually. And I talked about this the other day. Yes, Corey in Gunamort. He owns used to work here at the radio station, WML. He moved on to greener pastures. But Corey has a pontoon boat. You know, pontoon boats are big fun on the Potomac River especially. And our friend Corey puts up big Trump flags, rather, like 8-foot Trump flags on his boat, and goes up and down the Potomac River and along the waterfront in Georgetown and the Southwest waterfront where there are restaurants and stuff. And he does it just to count all the liberals that flip him off and yell obscenities at him. And he counts them. He's got like one of those baseball counters, and he counts how many Democrats, they're all Democrats, flip him off and yell things at him and stuff. But here is the Atlantic magazine. On the first Sunday of spring, surrounded by row houses and magnolia trees. Sunday is always a day of peace and harmony, and the first day of spring. The cherry blossoms are in bloom. My best girl and I, we hiked down to the cherry blossoms on the mall on Sunday. We parked, a mile and a half away and walked down there so you don't get caught in the traffic. But never mind that. He's going out for a hate frenzy of his own party. On the first Sunday of spring, surrounded by row houses and magnolia trees, I came to a horrifying realization, : They love their colons, don't they? My mom was right. Well, your mom was probably right about a lot of things. I had been flipped off at least 17 times, called a beep, something about his mother here, another thing about his mother. Mama Jamma, call him Mama. I'll clean it up and call it Mama Jamma. I had been flipped off at least 17 times, called a beep, in both English and Spanish. See, Barack Obama was right. You do have to teach the kids to learn Spanish so you know what Mama Jamma is in Espanol, right? And a beeping dork with the F word there. A woman in a blue sweater on the Sunday, the first day of spring, stared at me, sighed, and said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." All of this because I was driving a Tesla Cybertruck. Sure, I had told my mom about my plan to rent this thing and drive it around Washington, D.C. for a day. A journalistic experiment. Journalism isn't what it used to be. To understand what it's like behind the wheel of America's most hated car. Wow, be careful, Mom texted back right away. Communicating with her. He doesn't call her on the phone and talk to her. He's got a text with her. Doesn't want to get pinned down on a phone call. Both of us had read the stories of Cybertrucks possibly being set on... What do you mean, possibly? Here's the video. He said, they're such idiots. Possibly being set on fire. We've got video after video. Possibly being set on fire, bombed with a Molotov cocktail, and vandalized in every way imaginable. That's because the Democrat Party is a violent hate cult. People have targeted the car and Tesla as a whole to protest Elon Musk's role in Donald Trump's administration. You guys should join Tren de Aragua and create an underground railroad for Chinese spies that you can sleep with, like Eric Swalwell, Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell from California. But out of sheer masochism or stupidity, I still went ahead and spent a day driving one. As I idled with the windows down on a street in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood, a woman glared at me from her front porch. "Beep you and this truck and Elon," she yelled. That's the F word again because you drive a Nazi truck. She slammed her front door shut and then opened it again. I hope someone blows your beep up because she likes to curse. I used to live in Adams Morgan, and you could drive a golf ball into Mount Pleasant. There were riots there for several days when a really drunk illegal alien attacked a female police officer and was beating her up, and she shot him and killed him. So the Democrats naturally burned the place for a number of days. A lot of illegal aliens even back then. I hope someone blows your beep up. There it is. Earlier in the day, my first stop was the heart of the resistance. It's like a communist revolution going on in America. DuPont Circle's Farmers Market. Now, my best girl and I will go to the DuPont Circle's Farmers Market on Sunday mornings, and we get Chris's crab cakes. Best crab cakes, pound for pound, you're going to get anywhere. He went to the heart of the revolution, of the resistance, the DuPont Circle Farmers Market. The people there wanted to see the organic asparagus and lion's mane mushrooms. What they did not want to see was a stainless steel, supposedly bulletproof Cybertruck. It's not supposedly bulletproof. Everything the guy writes is wrong. He doesn't fact check anything. Every red light created new moments of mockery. You beeper, the F word again. That's not mockery. That's not mockery. They use the words, but they don't know what they mean. He's an award-winning journalist at the Atlantic magazine. You beeper, yelled a bicyclist as he pedaled past me on P Street. He pedaled past me on P Street. A lot of P's from the anxious anchor. The diners eating brunch on the sidewalk nearby laughed and cheered. Then came the next stoplight. A woman eating outside at Le Pen Côtienne gave me the middle finger for a solid 20 seconds. Sure, all without interruption, right? Actually, it's all without interrupting her conversation. So this is what the Democrats have done to women. Women are not the lovely, dainty flowers that they once were. Maybe when your mom, who warned you about this, was a young woman. But never mind that. All the windows down. Every red light a new opportunity. Amazing stuff. This is your Democrat Party. They're not on the side of civilization. Every red light, right? It just goes on and on. I had to remind myself, it's just a car. And it's kind of a cool one, too. It can apparently outrace a Porsche 911 while simultaneously towing a Porsche 911, or it can power a house for up to 3 days. You can use it to plug into your house a generator. You can use it that's awfully smart, too, and practical and pragmatic. That's because Elon Musk is a beeping genius, and these people are a bunch of criminal morons, honestly. Regardless of what you do with it, the car is emissions-free. Yeah, but unfortunately, Democrats aren't. Someone had placed a sticker just beneath the Tesla logo on another Tesla I saw. Elon Musk is a parasite. Read it. And that's what they're, because they hate everything, and you gotta be angry, you gotta hate everyone, because your Democrat Party, you know how they are. Yeah, over and over again, as pedestrians and drivers alike glared at me, I say. They glared. I had to remind myself it's just a car. Aren't they amazing? No matter where you live, the car is a nearly 7,000-pound Rorschach test. They are very heavy for the roads, and they cause a lot of wear on the roads. And if you have to tow one, that's an issue, too. And if they crash, they're full of toxins. But Democrats love things that are full of toxins, like themselves. It's become a defining symbol of the second Trump term. It's become a defining symbol of the Democrat Party, is what it has become. If you hate Trump and Musk, it is a giant MAGA hat. Sure. Pepe the Frog on wheels. They hate Pepe the Frog, too, on wheels, whether on wheels or not. Just amazing. They love the hate. Or the swastika. They call it a swastika. And then they try to drive the Jews out of the city. No sense of irony, these people. If you love Trump and Musk, the Cybertruck is, well, a giant MAGA hat. You already said that once. On Monday, FBI Director Kash Patel called Tesla vandalism domestic terrorism. It's because it's organized, orchestrated, nationwide political violence, including Molotov cocktail firebombing and shooting them up with rifles. And that's because it's domestic terrorism. That's why he called it that, you little fascist. As he announced a Tesla task force to investigate such acts. Man, oh man, I am telling you. Yeah, every time you stop, people on bicycles, people in cars, people on the sidewalks, flipping them off, yelling the F word at them. And the peine quotidienne, and the lady flips him off for 20 seconds nonstop while continuing her conversation uninterrupted. And then they have the temerity, the mendacity, as Big Daddy might say, to call other people fascists and Nazis while they're firing. And, honestly, the car, Michael Piercy and I were talking about it this morning. The Tesla is kind of like a Jew to Democrats. And they hate Jews, and even their Jews hate Jews. And they hate Teslas because Elon Musk is a genius, and they would kill the genius. They would burn him at the stake. They represent the opposite of civilization. Yeah, at one point I tailed behind a black Tesla model, the bumper sticker, an anti-Elon Musk Tesla club, because now they're ashamed that they bought a car which they bought to save the planet and save the universe because it's emissions-free, unlike Democrats. Aren't they amazing? That's your Democrat Party. And the Atlantic, that's good. Now, he doesn't draw any conclusion because he's not a smart person. He's not a good writer. He's not great with the English language. Just amazing stuff. And he's like, and then he ends up with talking about cuts resulting in he said the cuts to the government, where, what was it? 0.15% of the federal government workforce had been cut, while the Washington Post slashed hundreds, while ABC News slashed hundreds, while NBC News slashed hundreds, while CNN slashed hundreds. And then they go out and cover the government cuts of 0.15%, angrily and bitterly. Aren't they amazing? So far, Musk has only continued to get richer. Actually, he's lost enormous sums of money with his little spell trying to save the American taxpayers' money. Get richer and more powerful while the rest of us have had to deal with the wreckage. There is no wreckage. Let that sink in. Well, it's a falsehood, you dimwit. As he likes to say, the disaster of the Cybertruck is not that it's ugly or unconventional or absurdly pointy. It's that for most people, the car just isn't worth driving. It's like Jews make the vehicle and the Nazis are telling you that you can't. And he says the cuts have resulted in seniors struggling to get their Social Security checks. No, it hasn't. That's a complete falsehood. Has anybody been struggling to get their Social Security checks because of what Elon Musk has done? There's normal government inefficiency, which is what they're fighting against. But you guys are fighting in favor of more government efficiency because, man, oh, man. All right, let's grab a quick phone call because there are a couple of important elections going on in the United States today in Florida and in Wisconsin. Let's go to Charlie calling from the great state of Florida. Charlie, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Mr. Plant, I enjoy your show. Yes, sir, I'm actually going to get some blood work, and then I'm going to my precinct to go vote for Randy Fine. There's a lot of Randy Fine signs down here, and that Josh Wheel, he seems like a snake in sheep's clothing.
That's very good. The sixth district in the state of Florida, Randy Fine is the pro-American person. Josh Wheel is the snake in sheep's clothing. That is excellent.
Yes, he is. You could just see.
Well, and you see a lot of signs around. You haven't been there. You got to go get. You got to get your blood work done. Got to check that cholesterol and stuff. That's important. And I'm glad you're doing that.
Get the cholesterol.
And
I am a veteran, and I got paid. I am a disabled veteran, and I did get my pay on the 28th. As a matter of fact, last Friday we got paid.
And was it on time?
It was early, actually, as a matter of fact.
Would you give Elon Musk credit for that?
I do.
Why not?
I do. I appreciate Elon Musk very, very much. I can't afford a Tesla. I like my Chevy. But they're all over the place down here, and nobody's really doing anything to them. They're safe in the parking lots. Florida's a right-to-work state and a right-to-defend-yourself state. So
that is great, and a concealed carry state. Yeah, that is wonderful. Charlie, my friend, I am saluting you.
Thank you, sir. Semper Fi.
Thank you, Semper Fi, Marine, no less. That is great. Disabled vet, and headed out to vote today after getting a little blood work done because you got to take care of yourself. And then he's going to vote in Florida's 6th congressional district for Randy Fine. who is on the side of America and Americans. Unlike the insane Democrat Party, they love Tren de Aragua more than they love you. Crazy, man, crazy. I want to update you on the state of Newsmax today also, which went public yesterday on the New York Stock Exchange. And boy, howdy, let me tell you, a lot going on there. But right now, let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Joe calling from Warrenton, Virginia. Joseph, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. Love your show. Love the bumper music, too. I love it, love it, love it.
Thank
How are you?
I'm just great. Thank you. Yeah, we love our bumper music.
Yeah. So I have a Tesla pickup, and on the tailgate, I had a custom bumper sticker that I have pasted in the back. It says, "Saving the planet, one Democrat suicide at a time."
That you have an actual bumper sticker on your Tesla that says that?
I made it because you can't, you just won't find it. Yeah, I got a sticker on there, and it's a rather larger bumper sticker than normal, and put it on there with permanent marker, but nice and tastefully done.
Read it to me again. Say it out loud.
It was tastefully done so as not to offend anybody, and it says "Saving the planet, one Democrat suicide at a time."
That is just great. I want pictures. I want stickers of that. Of course, I don't have a Tesla to put it on, so it wouldn't work as well for me. Saving the planet, one Democrat suicide at a time.
There you go. Because if I have to endure their nonsense, I may as well have an answer for them while I'm driving silently past them.
Wow, I think that is great. I want to live in your neighborhood.
Well, we have two trucks, actually, and I dare anybody to come towards me because I have the bear spray that reaches up to 35 feet.
I don't go driving around DuPont Circle. There are a number of reasons to stay away from DuPont Circle, but the latest is, that is wonderful. Thank you, Joe. I wrote it down.